Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the energies for February 2021 for life path number 3. Before we get into the reading, I just want to mention that this is a general reading. If you'd like a personalized reading, then please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. Okay, so let's get into it. So February is a 7 universal energy. And so we may see collectively the focus be around specialization this month, solitude, self-analysis when it comes to our goals, our projects, and our relationships, health around body, mind, and spirit. So very holistically. Reflection and rest. So this is going to be a time potentially for, again, that solitude. You may find that you're not wanting to socialize as much or go out or whatever the case may be. This, again, is that time for self-reflection. Dreams may be coming in very strongly and very vividly for you this month. That includes your daydreams and your night dreams. So pay attention to those. This is a great time to have a dream journal, to write in it, to keep up with it. A lot of times the dream world is when a lot of our messages come through. Very profound messages can come through our dreams. And so we just have to learn how to speak that language. And part of that process includes, remembering the dream, remembering those symbols and writing them down and then exploring them. So this is a cycle where we need to let the work, let it work for us as opposed to, trying to control or force things to happen during this time. This can be especially profound around business or external matters. Because remember, this 7 energy is really asking us to go within, to do that self-reflection, to, focus on the integration as opposed to continuing to strive and be in constant action mode. You may be in action mode, but it's more about being in action for, what is helping you to expand, what is helping you to expand your mind, to clean the clutter, that sort of thing. So this energy is more focused on self-work, that integration and specialization. Again, it may be that this is a time where you want to go back to school or start a new course or become the expert in your work, okay? Or shift your focus in some way. So how can you continue to or begin to expand your mind and your expertise? I think that those themes are going to be coming up pretty strongly for the collective at this time. And you may find that you're focused on doing something in a new way, right? So the way that you've been doing it in the past just isn't working. And so you found a new way that you want to do it. And this is the opportunity to really become the specialist in that area. You may find that in the past, your energy has been more scattered, and this is a great cycle to sort of rein that back in and find those points where you really want to focus your energy and then focus your energy there. So it's a time to come out of that sort of scattered energy into a more focused energy. And it's all about that self-growth, that spiritual growth and, spiritual, personal, potentially professional if it's something that comes in for you and it's not something you're trying to control. But this is a great time for self-actualization, for seeing things come to fruition, where it has to do with our own embodiment of whatever that is. So again, it's less focused on the external, more focused on the internal. So a great way to look at this energy is as that of quiet receptivity. So again, quieting the mind, clearing the clutter, finding your balance holistically, and then being receptive and allowing those things that the universe wants to send to you to come in without trying to control it, without fighting it. And seeing how that works out. So I pulled a animal spirit card for you all to see what the overall energy for this month is. And it's interesting, you guys got Cardinal Spirit. And Cardinal says, the polarities of your spiritual pursuits and physical pleasures are out of balance. So do whatever is necessary to bring them back into equilibrium. And what's interesting about that is, a lot of times with 3s, you guys are so creatively self-expressive. You want to, you're that creative powerhouse in the world, right? And so it's like you sometimes can become out of balance with your that energy of striving, of wanting to always be in that action mode, of being so bigger than life type thing, right? With that energy. And so, and it's hard to really sort of allow your spiritual essence to percolate in that kind of energy where it's just that constantly moving, constantly explosive, big energy. Sometimes we need to rein that in a little bit and allow the solitude, the silence to sort of permeate our energy so that we can allow those spiritual messages to come through, those downloads, because those messages, those downloads are what allow us to create, to explore that side of ourselves. And so again, I feel like with Cardinal's message, it's coming back to that 7 energy of finding your equilibrium holistically. So body, mind, spirit. So wherever it is that you feel a little out of alignment in one of those areas, this is going to be a great cycle to get back into alignment, or at least figure out what that alignment even is for you. And then you can work on finding ways back to it as you move forward. So I broke the month down into 4 weeks, and the first week is interesting because it very much feels like a balance between that spiritual and physical, spiritual and physical pursuits and desires. So it's interesting because it's kind of like you have the green light to really move forward in a big way without forcing it, without trying to control it. So it's like, you may find at this time during this first week that you get many, many inspirations coming in, many downloads through your dreams, through things that people may say to you. And you may want to take immediate action on that, but you're really being called to really go more into the exploration. So where can you take those ideas and really focus that energy? So again, one thing with 3s is you are often getting so many new ideas and so many inspirations creatively, or so many new communications that it's hard to focus that energy. It's hard to ground it. And so you might feel like you're constantly sort of in the ether or, in the air. And so it's kind of like sometimes it can be hard to ground that energy. And so I do feel like you're being asked to do that at this time, to take those inspirations and those ideas. So if you get some very vivid dreams that come in, pay close attention to those, write down those ideas. If you get, downloads to start something new, then write that down. 7 energy isn't necessarily a good energy to start something big and new. It's really more about like focusing on the now and completing those things that are already in progress, and exploring those new ideas, not necessarily taking big action on them, but exploring them and allowing them to come into you, being that quiet allowing for that quiet receptivity. So this first week feels like you might be getting, again, a lot of downloads. You might want to take that immediate action on them, but it's more about bringing them in and then exploring them and then choosing where to direct your focus, where to direct your energy, because you're going to need that energy to be able to bring these things into the tangible, into fruition. So again, I just feel like you're going to probably be a little overwhelmed by all of the exciting ideas that are coming in for you, but the key is to allow them to integrate, allow them to percolate. Don't feel like you need to necessarily take big, immediate action on them. Then we move into the second week, and it's interesting because there is this big call for some kind of completion. Forgiveness is coming in really, really strongly. What's interesting is with 7 energy, there is this need to, or this sort of push to trust others, to trust yourself, to trust others, to trust the universe. There's usually if you are a life path 7, a lot of times you'll see a lot of your challenges come in around relationships, and those relationships are teaching you how to trust. And so that's where a big issue can be around in your, on your journey. And so for 3s experiencing this 7 energy, I feel like at this time during the second week of February, you may have some trust issues come up or things coming up from the past where you had some trust issues. And you're really being asked to take a closer look at those, to find the forgiveness, to release that energy. So it's not about being okay with or condoning whatever the energy, whatever the experience was. It's about sort of laying it to rest, to not bring it along on the continued journey. So again, it's this opportunity for to chill on your judgments of others and yourself, right? Give yourself some grace. Give those that you interact with some grace. And if there's something that's been particularly weighing heavily on your mind or in your sort of field of energy, that is an experience that happened in the past, but you're continuing to bring it with you, this is going to be an opportunity for forgiveness and release. So it's up to you to do that, obviously, right? Like you can continue to carry whatever this is, this grudge, this resentment, this hatred, this whatever that lower energy is, but I feel like you're really being called to release it at this time. So you may see this person resurface, you may start to have dreams about this person, this experience, whatever it was, the action that happened that caused whatever that resentment is, that anger. So this week, just pay attention to what comes in for you, pay attention to those dreams, pay attention to anything that triggers you, because it's highlighting for you where there's some work to be done on releasing that lower energy. So, and acknowledging it, being aware of it, acknowledging it, understanding that it keeps coming up for a reason. It needs to be worked through, but that, it's relevant for a reason. But this is a time to really focus on putting your energy into releasing that. That can be done symbolically, that can be done with the other person or energetically, whatever works for you to be able to acknowledge it, work through it, and release it. Okay, and so we move into the third week. And it's interesting because I do kind of see you looking back to the past for something. There might be some kind of communication coming in. There might be something, some change coming in that is related to a past experience. And what I'm kind of hearing is you're not going to have all the answers from the external. And so this is going to be a time where you're really being called to embrace that 7 energy of going within, following your intuition, following that gut feeling, because you're not going to have everything that you need from the external to make the decisions that you need to make. It really needs to come back to self. And then, use that information that you're getting from the external, use that practical information, your knowledge, whatever, but, to help you to make the decision, but really go within for that final decision, whatever it comes to, right? So, there could be some kind of change or communication. I'm really getting the sense of like communication coming in from the past that's having you make some kind of a decision. And the call is, again, to not put all the emphasis on that particular external factor, but to bring it back in and to see, how does this align with me? How does this align with where I'm headed, where I want to be headed, what I'm doing? And then make the decision from that space, as opposed to putting all of your sort of eggs in that external basket with whatever that communication is. But this feels like something from the past, but it's allowing you to change directions in some way. So again, where we talked about that quiet receptivity, it's like there's no forcing, there's no controlling here. It's like the universe is giving you this communication to help you to make whatever this decision is. And it's not necessarily that you need to make this decision right at this moment. It's just that you're being asked to sort of explore all the avenues, take in all the information, follow your gut feeling, follow that intuition before making the decision to however you want to, move forward. But I do feel like this is offering you some kind of detour, some kind of change in direction that may feel a little bit uncomfortable at first, but it's actually for your highest good. So, there are no mistakes, there are no bad detours. Everything is kind of helping us to move back into that holistic alignment. And so I feel like at this time, again, you may get some kind of abrupt communication coming in, some kind of quick change, something like that. And you're just being asked to be able to see it for what it is. And it's not like I don't feel like it's going to be asking you to make an immediate change or to make an immediate decision. It's just like, here's some more clarity, here's some more information that, and it feels like it has to do over a past experience. So something that happened in the past where you might have thought one way about something, and now you're getting some clarity that kind of like sheds more light on that experience, that action that is helping you to make your decision moving forward. So it's kind of like you didn't have the full story before, but now you're getting the full story. And you can make your decision from that full story, but you're also being asked to go within and follow your intuition. I know that's really ambiguous, but it's kind of like, again, it's like you're getting some clarity on a past action. That clarity is allowing you to use that information as you go within, follow your intuition before you make an immediate decision, if that makes sense. So getting that pretty strongly, it does feel like it's about a past incident or experience, and so it just feels like you're getting some clarity on that, and you're getting more of the story, but the full story is going to come from within. How you decide to act upon that is basically what's going to tie this all together. So be mindful of your actions at this time and your decisions and how you decide to move forward based on the information that comes in. Then we move into the 4th week. And it's interesting because, again, I can see this month where you all are being really asked to kind of bring it back in and to have that solitude. You got, 3s are often, for the most part, are very much sort of the social, that have that social energy, are much about like, being, the life of the party and that sort of thing. And so, but you may find at this time that you're really being called more to go within more and be more in your solitude. So, I do see that at the end of the month for you all, that sort of independence, that solitude, seeing a new perspective also on the benefits of alone time, that sort of thing. So it could be that you recently had some kind of a breakup and you're used to being in a relationship, and so you're not really sure how to function in this new reality. And it's kind of like you're finding your footing a little bit at this time. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about a romantic relationship. It can be like you were in a particular job and that ended, and now you're trying to figure out, what that means for you and what your new life looks like and how you're going to move from that space. And I feel like you're going to get some new perspectives at this time in your own reality, like how to move from this new space, how to move from this new reality, and to kind of find your own independence in a way, and to be okay with that, and to really like enjoy it, right? To enjoy that alone time with yourself. So I do kind of get this energy around new perspectives coming in at this time, a new way to see things, a new way to do things, also around independence. So if you've been overly dependent on somebody, there's this opportunity to sort of regain your independence and to know what that feels like for you, and to figure out how to work with that energy and to be okay with it and to start to enjoy it. So end of the month, there's just this call for some deeper solitude and a new perspective, seeing things through a new lens. And yeah, just that independence. So however that comes in for you, but try to embrace it the most that you can, the best that you can. The more you try to fight these energies, the more completely uncomfortable they become. It's more when we can like move with the energies that they become much more comfortable and malleable. So it's, again, always what we do with the energy that makes the difference. So I hope that February is a strong, powerful month for you all. It looks like it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be pretty transformative, or have the opportunity to do so. It's really going to give you a lot of opportunities to go within, to follow that inner guidance, to connect with your higher self, and to find your equilibrium and your balance, and to know what that feels like, and then figure out how to continue to come back to it. So very interesting energies. Forgiveness is coming in really strongly this month for you all. So if there's some past experiences that need some TLC and some love and care and forgiveness, then really pay attention to those this month, because the more that you can acknowledge them, move through them, and release them, the more that they're not going to hold you back anymore. Okay? Take care, and bye for now.